Hi, welcome to a special two-part edition of St. Patrick's Day live from Chicago as we get ready for St. Patrick's Day next weekend. Today, we are looking to get our corned beef started and we will be brining beef brisket. We're not going to the store and buying a prepackaged one. We'll get our brisket. We have the spices here to brine, and we will go over that right now. So we have a collection of pickling spices and curing salts and sugars. Over here, we have a selection, and on the recipe at PapaMerucciCooks.com, you'll see a list of different pickling spices. We have cardamom, black pepper, pink peppercorns, cloves, celery seeds, star anise, any of that kind of stuff. We also are gonna add later some little red pepper, some garlic. We have brown sugar, kosher salt. And I'd like to talk a little bit about this curing salt number one before we get started. So this is what gives corned beef its nice pink color, as well as during the brining process, keeps bacteria, because this is gonna brine for about a week, and it just keeps bacteria from growing. So it has nitrates in it. They purposely made this pink years ago so you would not confuse it with other salts. This is used for meat curing only, and keep it away from the lower shelves where kids might be or whatever. The reason they made it pink was not to confuse it with the regular salt, and then of course they went out and made Himalayan salt, and now they're all pink, so it's kind of confusing. So I've removed the spices that I'm going to use for the pickling spice, put it in this bag, and I'm just going to lightly crush it with a rolling pin like this, hopefully not denting the table. The mortar and pestle, if you happen to have one, works great. Of course, we have two back in Colorado, but this one is just a light crush. I'm actually good to go right now. As simple as that. So we've added half of the pickling spice that we lightly crushed. We added a couple bay leaves, couple little chili peppers. Alternatively, you could have used some crushed red pepper, just a little bit. We're not getting it spicy. We put the curing salts, the regular salt, and brown sugar in here. We're gonna bring this pot to a boil. We're gonna make sure it all gets dissolved and let it cool to room temperature. At that point, we're gonna pour it over our beef. So we've cooled down the brining liquid and have poured it over a 5-pound beef brisket that was fairly hard to find in Chicago, surprisingly enough. This is flat. Briskets come in two options you can choose from, the point or the flat. This is going to be a little bit leaner. I was actually looking for the point because I always go for not leaner if I have the choice. This may get a little drier, but we're going to be very careful in not doing that. We are going to refrigerate this for about a week, 6 to 7 days, maybe 8. Flip it, turn it daily. I would encourage you to consider doing this year for St. Patrick's Day. That's why we're sending out episode 1 a week ahead of time. Give you some time to get the brisket, get that curing salt number 1, since you probably don't have that around. It'll be a lot of fun to have family and friends over to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. And we will look forward to seeing you next week when we're ready to cook this and do some celebrating. Buon appetito, even though that doesn't make any sense in Ireland. But cheers.